Generation What is back on. You guys, in honor of coming back, I'm going to do a love letter to millennials. So it saddens me that millennials are still getting so much crap out there. All these stereotypes, people are still looking down on millennials, and it's like, aren't we over this by now? Because now we have Generation Z moving into the workforce. It's like they're the next ones to pick on, right? Millennials, they're doing okay. We don't get enough praise, you know? We need praise and we need trophies, and we don't get enough of that. So here I am, I'm gonna praise millennials. Dear millennials, my lovely generation, the generation that I was born into, I would like to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for not settling with the way our society and societal norms are today. Millennials have been raised very open-minded, and we've grown up in a society with social media where all of our opinions can be expressed. And we are the most open-minded of all generations so far, meaning we're not going to settle for racism, for sexism. We are doing wonders for breaking down stereotypes in our society. And here we are getting stereotypes about us. And a huge part of this is because of growing up with social media, and we're able to be very open about our opinions. We're able to share things. We shape culture every day. So it's really awesome to be part of such an influential generation that is making so many changes because of our size, prevalence in society. People see this as a negative. Oh, we're obsessed with social media, we're obsessed with our phones, we're always on the internet. But looking on the positive side, so much change can be done because of social media. I personally have seen many petitions signed, many calls for activism. The Women's March, for example, this was all social media. These were videos that went out there, people asking their friends on Facebook to join them in this Women's March, in this women's rally, in this LGBTQ rally. These things are all born out of social media. Millennials are getting more and more involved in changing things that they don't like about society and that may not be good for society. The immediate ability to share things and to invite people to things and to hear about things that are going on across the world, across the country, that they want to put on here in their own hometown. And millennials, we know that you're entitled. We are all entitled in this generation, and I'm not even going to deny that. We expect immediacy because if we can click a button and get, you know, a whole series on our TV, groceries delivered to our door, we expect more from our companies these days, from technology, and we're actually demanding more out of them, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounds like a pretty good thing, that we are not settling for slow, like we are setting the bar higher for companies and for technologies and for things that we use in our everyday life. So our entitlement isn't necessarily all bad. The last thing I want to touch on, laziness. Everyone is calling millennials lazy. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to get the job done. I can't tell you how many millennials I know that they're working their jobs during the day, but so many of the people that I know of my generation have a side gig, a side hustle, they call it, something that they're super passionate about that they're doing on the side in hopes of creating that into a sustainable career for themselves. I don't know who came up with this, but I don't really know one millennial, yeah, maybe I know one, that could be considered lazy. And there's always gonna be bad seeds, you guys. Every generation is gonna have some lazy people, and maybe the person who said millennials are lazy and that caught on really just knew some pretty awful people. If you're lazy, it's like you're not necessarily embodying an entire generation because of that. And I would say that the vast majority of the millennials I know are the complete opposite of lazy and are some of the hardest workers that I've ever met. So with all the negativity going around, I just wanted to throw a little love on my millennial generation because we get so much crap and we gotta sometimes write a love letter to ourselves. And so this is to all you millennials out there and to anyone else who's watching that maybe doesn't have the best view of millennials. Maybe this kind of turned your mind around a little bit, that we are a pretty cool generation. We're doing a lot of things to change the world. And it got really bright as I said that. So that means that the sun agrees with me. I love you, millennials. XOXO, Caitlin. And that's all for this episode of Generation What. Thanks for sticking around, even though I haven't had a new episode in like 600 years, but I'm so sorry about that. But I'll see you next week on Generation What?